everything after the LVMPD raided a home tied to Keith D's wife in Henderson in the summer of 2023. The indictment followed within weeks. The charging documents listed first-degree murder with the use of a deadly weapon. The charging theory, explained publicly by Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson at the time of the arrest, is that Keith D was not the shooter, but was criminally liable as part of the conspiracy that led to Tupac's death. That's a key distinction. Nevada law allows prosecutors to charge a participant in a violent conspiracy, even when that participant did not pull the trigger, as long as the evidence shows they planned and facilitated the act. That's the theory of the case. It depends entirely on placing Keith D inside the Cadillac as a decision maker, and it leans almost exclusively on his own prior statements. The hotel room rumor, Gene Deal, and the return of a decade-old story. Once the headlines started stacking up, another piece of old rap folklore got dragged back into the conversation. This one has been in circulation for years, but in the last 2 years, it has been amplified by one person specifically, Gene Deal, who worked for years as a bodyguard inside Sean Combs' security detail. In interviews with Cam Capone News and a string of other independent outlets, Gene Deal has told a version of a story that places Jay-Z inside a Las Vegas hotel room at some point during the height of the East Coast-West Coast tension. In Deal's account, Tupac learned that Jay-Z was in town for a show, and Tupac wanted smoke. Tupac wanted to pull up, and in Deal's telling, Jay-Z refused to leave the hotel room. Deal says phone calls went out, including one to a New York rap figure named Chaz Williams, to legendary DJ Eric B, and ultimately up to Suge Knight himself, who supposedly called Tupac off and told him to let Jay get his money so the show could happen. Gene Deal frames this as evidence that Tupac's presence in that era made everyone nervous. He frames it as evidence that Jay-Z, at that moment, was scared of a direct confrontation with Tupac Shakur, and the people running with it online have stretched it into something larger, treating it as proof of some hidden grudge that later became a motive. Jay-Z has never publicly confirmed or denied the Gene Deal version. There is no corroborating hotel receipt. There is no corroborating flight record. There is no second named witness. It's one man's memory of an event he says happened roughly 30 years ago. And importantly, it's a story where the conclusion is avoidance, not confrontation. In Deal's own telling, Jay-Z stayed in the room. That is the behavior of someone trying to avoid an incident, not someone orchestrating a hit. That contradiction is what makes the story so strange as a piece of conspiracy evidence. If the claim someone wants to build is that Jay-Z plotted against Tupac, the same storyteller's own anecdote undercuts that theory. The person in the hotel room is running from the confrontation. The person in the Cadillac hours or days later is committing murder. Those are two different posture profiles from two different people. The Gene Deal story also connects to something Tupac himself put on wax. On the posthumous album The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, released in November 1996, the opening track Bomb First, My Second Reply, has a lyric that puts Jay-Z in the crosshairs alongside everyone Tupac considered a bad boy affiliate. That was real. That diss existed. And producer DJ Clark Kent, who worked on Reasonable Doubt, later confirmed on a podcast called A Waste of Time with It's the Real that Jay-Z recorded a response diss that was